Milestyle hailing frequencies are open.
Okay, we're on.
The opinions expressed in tonight's podcast are those of the individuals speaking. They do not necessarily reflect the views of HarrisFilm Productions or its other crew members.
Greetings, this is Steve Harry Harris and the HarrisFilm crew with another fan film review where we have a watch party and discuss the fan film that we're watching right afterwards. Tonight we have with us Ken Mays, special guest Ian Burke.
Good evening, everybody.
And our regular Roy Ivey. HarrisFilm entered the 2024 Showrunner Awards and were 2 of 27 entries. I'm not sure exactly what specific awards that they put themselves in for. Tonight, we're going to watch a movie called The Good, the Bad, and the Federation.
We are completing a patrol of the neutral zone border, no Alpha Oneus 3. There have been no incidents, other than a brief run-in with the Federation warship Dominion. I fired a plasma torpedo, intentionally missing their hull by only a few meters. I am told it is a traditional intimidation tactic. They backed away like the puny worms that they are. We've completed our routine checks on all 7 neutral zone outposts and are preparing to return to Romulus for much-needed leave.
Commander, the crew is assembled for morning review.
Excellent. As soon as I complete... Red alert! Red alert! All hands to battle stations.
Let's get dressed.
We were scanning this asteroid field for useful elements when we were suddenly attacked.
Gave you a simple task. A simple task of looking at this asteroid field, and this is how you repay me? Perhaps I see an airlock in the future.
We were just about to send for you. We've been fired upon by 3 ships of unknown origin.
We suspect they may be a newly discovered race, the Vancians.
The Whatians?
The Vancians, known for their extreme aggression and their proclivity for wearing strange hooded uniforms.
Never heard of them. How dangerous can they be?
Commander, shields at 67%. Initiating evasive maneuvers.
What? No! Stand your ground! Fire at will. Take no prisoners. Leave no survivors. Concentrate fire to that cruiser on our starboard. Transfer power to our port shield. Continuous fire.
Commander, their shields are failing.
Excellent. You attacked the wrong ship today, my friend. Finish them! Concentrate fire on that battleship!
Commander, shields are at 21%.
Let's distance ourselves from that battleship. Transfer all power to aft shields. Fire torpedoes at will from all launchers. Keep that battleship at a comfortable distance.
Commander, the cruiser is within transporter range of Iota Pavonis 2.
Commander, our warp drive is damaged. It will be down for at least 3 cycles.
Well, engineering, they have half a cycle to get it up and running.
Commander, the cruiser has transported an assault team to the surface. They will most certainly attack our research facility on the planet.
Field Privates Talayan,
I await your orders.
send a team to the surface immediately and defend that research station.
For the glory of the Praetor.
Sir, I see! Attack!
Scans indicate they're getting power for the weapons intra-dimensionally. There. I've isolated the frequency.
And you thought they were going to surrender.
Just like a Klingon, they bring a knife to a disruptor fight.
Hold! This one's mine. Send down my Lerpa. Now to see the face of our enemy. For the glory of the praetor! For the glory of the praetor!
Another full salvo.
This time hit something.
Commander, our torpedoes are doing minimal damage. Disruptors are equally as ineffective. The battleship's defenses are not like the cruisers. They are using some type of phase technology. It dissipates our weapons' effectiveness. The dissipating effect has its limits, but we are having difficulty overcoming it. Shall I commence evasive maneuvers, Commander?
No, stand your ground. The response team must have a ship to return to. We cannot strand them.
Commander, should I retrieve your ceremonial death cloak?
No, there will be no ceremonial death cloak. We must not think of death this day. We must resolve. No failure. But if death should come, this ship, our bodies, they may be destroyed, but our spirits will live on to the glory of the praetor.
For the glory of the praetor.
Masate, I know that perhaps there have been times that I've been, well, less than pleasant to you. But I just want you to know that if we fail today, you've been an exemplary officer and a loyal friend.
Commander, incoming communication.
On screen.
This is Captain Robert Tack of the USS Constitution. Can we be of assistance?
Starfleet.
You seem disappointed. Who were you expecting? McLeod, take care of that.
Aye, sir.
Duncan McLeod?
Commander...
The
Clan McLeod. Commander Devarro, I realize our governments have not been on the friendliest of terms, but I'm not likely to stand by for an unfair fight. May we be of assistance?
Yes, you may.
In that case, Commander, please keep communications open, if you don't mind.
Captain, shields are at 93%.
Fire full spread. Let's see if we can take them down a peg or two.
Any specific part of the ship?
The ship is a complete unknown.
Commander Navarro, have you found any weakness in their defenses?
No, Captain. I've not seen shields like this. Our weapons dissipate before even doing any serious damage. They're using some sort of phase technology.
Phase shields?
That's an interesting innovation.
We need to find a way to overwhelm their ability to shrug off our weapons. How about a coordinated attack?
Indeed. Weapons. Prepare fire. Ready when you are, Captain.
Orders provided to show a power fluctuation.
Commander Navarro, we just sent you a set of coordinates. Ball's in your court.
Received. And... ready when you are, Captain.
Locking target. Fire. Tap. Fire again. That worked better than I thought. Commander Navarro, may we be of further assistance?
I think I can handle it from here. Starfleet, leave the area immediately. Your presence is no longer required.
No good deed goes unpunished, huh? You know it, sir.
Tafaro, out.
XO,
Notice anything?
you have the con. Sir? Mr. Desmond, would you please send the last engagement to my personal terminal? I need to file my report with Starfleet, and the sooner the better. This is going to be a head-scratcher.
Is the response team all accounted for?
Yes, Commander. One casualty, the rest are aboard.
And the research station?
Nominal.
Good. Helm. Set a course for home. We are in need of much repair. Masafte,
Yes, Commander.
I'm in need of a light meal and a hot bath.
Commander,
Yes, Masafte?
thank you for your kind words earlier. They mean a lot to me.
Kind words?
What are you talking about?
Exemplary officer, trusted companion.
I never said such a thing.
Yes, Commander.
You're hearing things.
Commander, incoming communication from High Command.
On screen.
I am told that you have sustained severe damage. You were entrusted with a brand new, state-of-the-art, and very expensive ship. There should be no damage. What are we to do with you, Commander?
Admiral, in a cowardly fashion, a new hostile race got in a couple of lucky shots. We destroyed one of their cruisers and sent 2 running home to their mothers. They will not be so lucky next time, should they show their faces again.
Very well. I shall inspect the damage myself. Report to the nearest space dock. For the glory of the Kraken.
There were no other ships in the vicinity. There was the Valdore, and there was the 3 other ships of unknown origin. Is that understood? The glory of the Praetor.
The glory of the Praetor.
So, what'd you think? Casting was pretty good, right?
Oh yeah.
Everybody can improve on our acting, right? Okay, and the costumes were perfect. You know, a little bit of a crossover with the Squid Game, but the props were perfect. The sets, the locations, even the fight choreography. Okay.
The sets were cool. The VFX I thought were good in a lot of places. I'm curious, were they using like a mix of auxiliary control for that bridge?
Yes. What happened is down in Kingsland they have a full Studio 9 type set.
Mm-hmm.
And they redressed the auxiliary control room as the Romulans or Klingon ships as they need to, just like the original series did. So, as far as I know, that's exactly what they did.
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense?
Yeah, that makes sense. Now I have to address a major costume choice elephant in the room here. When they beamed down to the planet, they were pretty much squaring off against the Squid Game guards.
Yes. I wondered if anybody would notice that.
Yeah, because it's not just the mask. It's the mask in combination with the colorful hoodie and so forth, and they left the symbols on.
That's the other thing. Yeah,
you know, you could have painted over those symbols.
Mm-hmm.
You could have made a different choice, but it was very distinctive that you immediately thought Squid Games.
Yeah, I'm wondering if that was
have they crossed a universe or something?
See, I don't
I've
know.
never seen Squid Game, so I wouldn't have made the connection.
I haven't seen the series either, but I'm very familiar with all the new science fiction that comes out usually, even if it's on something like HBO Plus or whatever that I don't subscribe to. The Squid Game was obvious to me. It was, but it might be an intentional Easter egg. That's an artistic choice.
Yeah. And it was really bold to do it that way. Leave the symbols, to use the hoodies in that manner. And until, like they're unmasked, they could have just been ordinary guys.
So what'd you think of the look of the alien under the mask?
That's really, everybody seen Discovery Season 5 yet so far? Because the way the thing shifted, it wasn't so much liquid, but it was etheric that morphed into something solid. But it wasn't solid when the mask came off. It was etheric, but it was reminiscent of like when you saw what was his name? Locke. His mask comes off for the first time. It was the first time we had ever seen what a Breen looked like under the mask. And the Breen are liquid, and for a moment, like he has to like gel his face into something solid. And it was very similar to that.
So it could be related to the Breen. I don't know. That's a good question.
Yeah, but this thing was more of an etheric thing, and the Breen is more of a gooey liquid thing. So who knows what's going on with that? They didn't really explain a lot. They were very much a mystery kind of race, whatever they were.
It's a new race. I think it's bold that they introduced a new group of people with a new ship that looks a lot like a Borg technology. So,
I thought that.
you can probably infer that the Borg took over their race somewhere, down the road. I mean, we're after all in a TOS style era, predecessor, if you want to call it that, or a group that the Borg absorbed and modified their technology in the future.
I think it's a good show. It was based on the Romulan perspective, and it's a comedy of sorts, and that Romulan perspective is totally different. The way they look at things, the way they deal with their government, and for the glory of the Praetor, and it shows how information is transferred from the front to the back, and Romulans lie to everybody. It's hard to tell what is happening. So I like the whole makeup of the show. I think they're very good on the title and the outro and the music. The music is hitting those story points and the action. And the Vansonites, of course, are a little backstory here, is based on Vance Major. He was named the Vansonites are named in honor of Vance Major. And the hoodie also is a trademark. So that
I wondered if anybody picked up on that
as well. It's not something it's really in the episode.
Right.
But it's they're just it's the Vansonites.
What about that surprise visit at the end with Frank Parker Jr. as the Romulan admiral?
Yeah, I love him as that. I think he played a very good Romulan. He's almost a better Romulan than he is a Commodore. He's very impressive as a Commodore. Don't get me wrong, but there's a little twinkle in his eye, when he gets to play a Romulan.
It's always fun playing the bad guy.
Yeah, sort of the bad guy. Yeah, the Romulans are the heroes in their own story.
Exactly.
Yeah, you've got a lot of, you got some good locations, you got some good stunt work. Can't take away that. Special effects were great, but they needed some story element to hold it all together, and that story element was absent.
What would you have suggested? You got anything in particular in mind?
I was thinking the whole time I was watching it that it was going to turn out to be, as soon as they pulled the mask off, that it would be Romulans that they were fighting, and that they were Romulans from the mirror universe. Which
that's a different twist.
In the mirror universe, the Romulans are good, and they look at our prime Romulans as being their mirror universe.
They're evil.
They're evil Romulans.
That's an interesting twist.
That's what I thought that they were heading toward. Because, like I said, I've never seen Squid Games. I've only heard a few random things about it, so I wouldn't have got that connection. All I knew was what I know from the show and what I'm seeing on screen here, and I was thinking, yeah, I bet these turn out to be Romulans, but an alternate Romulan.
Surprise!
So, what do you rate it?
It was 8.5. Yeah, technically, it was very well done.
Yes.
The acting was fairly good.
It fell prey to some of the same tropes that permeated a lot of the early Star Trek fan fiction, which was basically an excuse to present a space battle and fighting and all that, but it didn't really have much story beyond that. I mean, there's nothing else to it.
That's a little harsh.
The best space battles are the ones that have a good, strong story to back them up. That's why I love DS9 so much. Is that there's a lot of big, heavy space battles, but there's a slow build up to them, in which the story is built up first. and then you
But
get
like
the
the
battle.
TOS era, you got the Enterprise incident that introduced us to the Romulans. Yeah, that's a perfect example.
Yeah. Very, very heavy story-wise.
You
And
guys have beat us on the Romulans, and I think you're very, very impressive with that overall.
they missed the mark, though, at the end where she's like, yeah, we're going to lie to command and say we were the only ones involved. It's like, I don't really see that from Romulans because they were all honor and duty, and they would have been duty bound to report exactly what happened as it happened. But their government might have issued a different story to the general population afterwards,
right,
omitting the presence of Federation ships. But them reporting to their own command.
Where the Tal Shiar? Come on, guys. You know there are Tal Shiar on every ship. You think that the Admiral's not going to hear from Tal Shiar, or at least the Tal Shiar group will not hear that there was another Federation ship that helped
Maybe
win the battle?
maybe the Tal Shiar guy was like her little like helper, and like when she told him off, I'll show you now.
See, that works too. You
There's
can't
usually a
hide
little
from the Tal
squirrely
Shiar.
guy in the corner, you know.
Now I realize that in TOS they never mentioned that group. Okay, that's where you're going. Okay, if that's what you're leaning on, that's fine too. Okay, we're not even playing with the Romulans. We're playing with a couple of Klingons and some Orions and that kind of thing. So you,
I'm
back
assuming the
story.
Bat-Lips are old enough that they were still around when the Romulans split off from the Vulcan.
The Lurpa that he used, yes, yeah, that's a traditional weapon, like the you would consider a samurai sword or whatever. I would believe you're right that's a traditional family heirloom kind of a thing that you'd hand down from one warrior to the next child and so on. So yeah, it was nice to see. Give you 2 thumbs up. Fight choreographer, fantastic. And if we were actually filming on location somewhere, I would ask for you to help us out.
Especially that scene when Stahl has to fight off those 6 Klingons with bat-lips.
Yeah, exactly. So, in closing, congratulations. And we are looking forward to your next film. So, good night from Ken Mays. Special guest, Ian Burke. And our regular Roy Ivey. We hope you've enjoyed our show. Come back and see us another time. Night from
Good night,
HarrisFilm
everybody.
Productions.
Hailing frequencies are closed. Transmission complete.